Mike, check 1212. It's the Y2K collector, and I'm here to tell you that retro FOMO is over. If there are still people dealing with retro video game FOMO and they're still going out and buying retro consoles, all willy nilly, thinking that the prices are going to continue to skyrocket, that's a poor financial decision. I feel like the only people who are still sincerely in the market are actual collectors and probably no, definitely resellers. Um, I haven't gone to GameStop in what feels like a really long time. It's been a long time since I've made a GameStop visit. Just because I told myself once October and these months came along, the slowdown was gonna happen for sure. So I haven't been visiting GameStop to really see what's been there. In fact, I've actually been going through everything that I spent the summer and spring picking up, and I'm getting ready to put together a massive box for trade bait. Usually this time of year is where you have a lot of like, Comic Con. You have different local trade events at some of the local retro game stores, and these are the times where like genuine collectors, and of course resellers come together and see what items they can trade for. When it comes to me and my retro collection, I've realized like as I go through that I have too many doubles. So I actually have to get rid of some of the doubles that I have. I have like three PlayStation 2s. There's no reason for me to have three PlayStation 2s. I have like a couple of Wii's. I only need one Wii. I have three Nintendo 64s. I don't need that many. I've got like two PS Vitas. Two Super Nintendos. There's just stuff that I don't need. Um, and I really say that I don't need them because I'm only gonna play one of those consoles at a time, right? So I'm not really trying to hoard that stuff. And there are different things that I need for my collection. A lot of you know that my Dreamcast just it tanked on me. The controller port stopped working, so I'm thinking about just getting a new Dreamcast. So I'm putting together a massive trade box where I can just kind of start hitting up some of these events and seeing what items I can, get, use for trade bait. But a lot of what you see here, these are the things. I mean, I'm keeping my Fantastic 64s. I really love the colors on those. I also like alternative like consoles. Like I do like the genuine Super Nintendo, the regular one. I also like the regular NES. But I'm more of a fan of like the Nintendo Junior and like this top loader NES. I'm like just more of a fan of like alternate style consoles. Same thing with the Saturn. Yes, I do have a black Sega Saturn there for sure, but the one that I really cherish is my import. Whoa, my import Saturn. That's like a fave of mine, along with my import wireless controllers. This is like one of my faves. Yeah, there's pieces in my collection that I'm gonna be keeping. Right, I'm not selling everything. Oh, and sidebar, I did go through an action figure phase, for sure. I've got a couple really cool ones. I'll show you the three that I'm gonna be keeping in my collection because I do have a bunch that I'm gonna be selling. But Streets of Rage 4 Axel Stone is sick. One of my ultimate faves. That's staying in the collection for sure. Sagat. I mean, dude, Sagat is like classic. I think this is like a 10-inch action figure or something like that, but a really cool classic Sagat here staying in the collection. And then of course, Zangief. Had to keep Zangief in the collection. And maybe I'll do a different video one day on just like some of the action figures that I have. I'm not a huge action figure collector. I don't collect them like that all crazy, but I do have a few. And these action figures are dope. Like, don't sleep. They do have a little bit of value to them. I think the Zangief and Sagat, they can go for like 200 a piece, for sure. Those are Storm Collectibles. Storm Collectibles does a good job with some of these action figures. But like I said, that's a video for another day. But I do have like some action figures that I'm going to be selling because I had a bunch. I'm going to be getting rid of those. So just streamlining the collection because like this is just a good time to refine the collection. And when you're not operating on FOMO, you can see a little bit more clearly and it allows you to curate your collection and tailor it to you, to your personality type. I think that's what makes collections cool. If everybody just collects everything, it's really kind of hard to tell, like, who you are as a gamer, as a collector. And I'm not hating on anyone who has a large collection. If you have a large collection, more power to you. I mean, you're just a top tier collector. I admire those folks who have massive collections and massive storage rooms and things like that. And someone who has a much smaller collection than me could be saying, "Look at this guy. Who's this guy?" Saying, "Look at your collection, dude. You don't have a small collection by any means." And I wouldn't say that I do, but I've been collecting for quite some time. Um, this goes back years, years before 2020. I've been into gaming. I've been into collecting. I've bought and sold collections long before, it became as hype and as popular as it was. But I think, like I said, like right now, just the FOMO piece is gone. I think the FOMO train has left, and it's helping. It's helping to settle prices. It's helping to bring things back to a normal state. And I think what I'm looking forward to more than anything else is that it opens up the floodgates of inventory. I'm hoping that people who are sitting on some of these games that we want, that folks like me want to have, I'm hoping we see some of these games get back onto the market so that we can see some of these prices coming down or come down. I've talked about games like Hagane. I would love to see more cartridges hit the market so the price can come down. Um, there's a lot of complete in box Super Nintendo games that I'd love to have in my collection, that I'd be willing to trade a lot of things for if the price is right. I'd love a complete in box Super Turrican 2. I'd love a complete in box Hagane. I'd love a complete in box Metal Warriors. I have some of these games loose cart, but the collector in me does want to have them complete in box. So I'm just going through, like I said, through the collection, seeing what it is that I don't need, and just doing some selling. And I'm not just doing it with video games. I'm doing it with sneakers too. Like I've got plenty of like retro Jordans that I'm going through, um, that I'm, saying, okay, what can I, sell? What do I no longer wear? It's got some cool gray 11s here. I've got the 7210 Jordans. I've got some 2019 retro Bred 4s. I've got some, complete in box Sega CD stuff. So like there's a bunch of things that I'm going through. Even with some of these limited edition Switch games, got a bunch of limited edition Switch games. A lot of these I probably won't sell though. Demon Throttle I will get rid of, but the Messenger is probably a game that will stay in my Switch collection forever. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting rid of the Messenger. The Messenger has definitely hit like top tier when it comes to the Switch catalog. This is one of those really expensive games, and I don't know why. I don't know why the Messenger hasn't completely tanked, because there are so many Switch games that have completely bottomed out that were priced really high before, but the Messenger is just one that just has not dipped at all. Like it's still very expensive. So I don't know. We might see some of these prices drop here in the near future, but for now, I'm streamlining. I'm tailoring. I'm just working on putting together a much more concentrated and pure collection that just speaks purely to me and what I like to play and what I enjoy. But let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you think that the FOMO train has left the station? Do you think the market has come back to normal? Where are we at with all this? Let me know. It's the Y2K Collector. I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy.